Ready or not?
Yeah, I am.
That's the name of the
I'm
podcast.
nervous. I'm nervous.
Ready or not? We're
What are you
gonna
gonna
talk
do to
about
me?
it. We're gonna. Oh. So she's a sexual healer. It's all about doing. I'm a more of a mind stimulator. I'm gonna just do things
No one
that
has
you have
ever
to
called me a
imagine. You
sexual
know.
healer. No one has ever called me a sexual healer.
It's Gigi, Miami sexual healer. She's the professional healer of sexual problems. Is that what would you say? Like, so would you say you help people with sexual problems?
Yeah, I mean, I think the energy is very intelligent, and it's gonna do exactly what every person needs. And in the case someone has like some traumas or, having no sexual desires, yeah, it could happen. Sometimes it opens up that root chakra. Yeah.
Here's an interesting question. I've never asked this question to anyone. I just thought of it since you brought that up. Traumas. You know, a lot of these sexual things that we do,
Yeah.
it's very traumatic. I feel like I get surprised how these girls survive after this. I'm like, are you serious? You're not hurting? Wait, are you? It's very traumatic. How is it that the ladies can be so sensitive and so, you know what I mean, so receptive of all of that
Same time.
trauma and still be able to have the love and the connection and to be able to look at themselves in the mirror afterwards and they're like, like that's a lot of trauma. I feel like it's like a karma, like a mind fuck. No?
Well, I think I know what you're trying to say. Let's put it straight. Either you make love or you fuck. So I guess that other side of the sexual animal thing, which we probably all have lived and we have all experienced, is not really what at
Oh,
the
this is a
end
good podcast. Oh,
at the end women
got-
really want. They just think probably that's where they need to go to get men. And I think,
no,
So what
no,
is it?
no, no. I got,
No?
I got all the ammunition.
Okay, tell me then.
Females love that shit. Females like to be trashed. They like to get fucked. No woman really wants to be loved. In reality, the guys who end up loving and making love end up getting fucked over by having a real man come and fuck their wives or the girls or whatever, because that's what really a female wants. There hasn't been one female that I've met who hasn't asked me to do a lot further or more than I would have done. And you know what I mean? So it's like something that they desire or a want.
Everything is balanced in life. I'm not saying like fucking is bad or making love is bad, but I think a good combination of both could be a good thing. When you're in your feminine, and you're looking for that man is, and a couple, you can experience both things from your truth, where you are in your life. That's what you have experienced. But where I am in my life and what I have experienced is both, and both are beautiful. Yeah, because I
Do
wanted.
you really enjoy making love and having that whole soft shit?
Yes.
With who?
Yeah, I do. What?
With who?
With whoever have been in love or whatever. I thought it was love at the moment I was.
Oh, and then the same person will give you the other love at the same time?
Yeah,
At the
good.
same time or like at a separate
No,
time?
maybe separate times. Like you mean raw, like crazy sex?
Like, yeah, you start off soft and then you get trashy, or you just,
Yeah,
like one time
yeah,
it's
that could
trashy, one
happen.
time it's
yeah,
like.
that can
good.
happen. Yeah.
Which one?
Of course, both.
Both.
It could start one way.
Because I think
and
once
then
you
the
fucking
other.
get trashy, it's just trash. There's no love. I mean, there is love, but like, what's love?
What's love?
You know what I mean? It's crazy because if you really love somebody, you wouldn't really do all of that to them in
You
the
mean-
real life,
You
in
mean
the
like
real world.
trashy?
Yeah, like fucking trash.
So you're telling me what I just told you a minute ago, basically.
Tell me, what
Like
was?
love when exactly. So you're.
But
telling me-
everybody, every
so you're
female
telling me-
loves that. Every female wants that. That's what it is, though. That's what's needed for it to be peace.
But not every woman in the planet is the same woman. Not
Until
every
they
woman-
figure out that's what they need, until they get fucked and they realize, oh shit, this is how you come. This is what Life is about, this is what I've been missing my whole life. Listen,
I think what you have been missing your whole life is not never fall in love, probably.
no, like, I try.
But you haven't.
I loved. There's no way I not loved. I loved. I've been married
Okay.
multiple
Oh,
times.
that's right. Oh, multiple times. Welcome to the club.
Most people don't know how many times. It's more than twice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Me too. Don't worry.
it's okay.
It's okay.
It's life. It's supposed to be that way.
Love us.
I'm a lover. I like to love, and I like to get past that love and then find different love. There's so many different loves out
Se
there.
convierte, transmutes, changes.
Every person brings something to your life.
Yeah.
And to have that one person limit and be your perspective of females and life and what, should be expected is kind of very limiting. Don't you say? Like, I feel like every woman, every female have any kind of interaction, especially sexual, is there some sort of an exchange of like a, give and take where like you learn and you become in the process?
Well, I mean, once more, so all depends. I think I personally, what I see with nowadays, what's going on with women, and I come from a conservative, to put it that way, conservative country. Either you're very religious, or you're very Jewish, or you're very Christian, or you're very Catholic, or this and that. And you grow up with a lot of like shit, You grow up like thinking, sex cannot be this way, and like I cannot go the other way. Like a porn star was like a big deal back in the days in my country, or like a stripper was a big thing. And in reality, when you come to this country, and you open your mind and you see, I did wardrobe myself and makeup for a porn company for 3 years, and I, just looking at the girls, always not judging, right? That's why I probably got the job, because I was completely cool about it. But just like seeing the way that they enjoyed sex, very on the other side of what I normally saw through my life growing up, with my education. I was so surprised, at some point I was like, why I'm not enjoying this? Why I'm not that girl? Like, why are they able to enjoy sex in this way? And then, you start opening yourself and your mentality a little bit more here and there. Then you start growing up. But it's where I am in my life, Like now, after all my spiritual awakening, after all my Kundalini energy awakened, I can tell you I enjoy sex as I have never enjoyed my whole life. I don't have a partner, but of course I have been with someone after all of this in the last 2 years, and but it's not even about the man anymore, or if the guy fucks me or makes love with me or like whatever that it was, it's more about where I am in my life and how I'm enjoying my sexual connection, and obviously too where I am, respecting where I am, because I don't want to be sleeping around with 20 guys that are bringing me energy from every girl they fuck or sleep around, because all of this is energetic and stays in me. You understand? So I use this energy now to work. I use my sexual energy for work. This is my transmission, basically, opening my sexual chakra. So for me, it's sacred. So where I am might sound super boring for a lot of men, because like, oh, she doesn't have sex, she doesn't fuck, like, que jartera esta vieja, like,
who said that, though?
Like, I mean, some guys might think, yes, of course. Like,
You're a sexual here. I'm assuming you have sex like every 5 times a day.
I don't.
How do you heal without sex?
I mean, I use my sexual energy in a different way that I never thought it was possible to use. It's not all about sex. I had an orgasm today at class. Without a man touching me.
Can we have an orgasm right now without the podcast? While we're having a conversation.
I had an orgasm today.
How can I make you have an orgasm?
But it's a different orgasm. It's like okay, it's not like you're coming like out. It's you're coming within.
You're coming inside of yourself.
Like.
So you're fucking yourself pretty much.
Like it's like.
But it's the same thing as like masturbation, no?
But you're not touching yourself. You're not motivating yourself.
Yeah, but I feel like the whole energy is the exchange between a man and a woman. Man brings you the masculine, and then the female brings the feminine. That's where really the whole hormones and the pheromones and all the activation really happen, because in reality, we need to be able to connect on a mental, physical level where things happen just as they've been happening for thousands of years,
yeah,
you know?
Of course, of course. But what I just say is from where I am in my life, you know,
But
where
how do
I
you
am.
feel about missing? But that's the thing, like the real connection I feel like is between a man and a female, and having that pure sexual chemistry where I'm not trying to fuck you, you're not trying to fuck me, but let's enjoy each other in the purest form possible where nothing matters. Like it's
Yeah.
love in the purest form in a way, you know?
Yes, yes. If it happens, it's wonderful. But I just think what I have found through this technology or modality or however you want to call it is the connection that I have with myself, and I don't know if you want to say God right now because I think I fight with him for many years. Um, it was basically like being fucked by God.
That's karma.
You know, my first Kundalini awakening was kind of like I was just fucked by God because it was a cosmic orgasm. Like I've never felt that before
Oh God, like you felt that.
with a man. Yes, I'm. This is my experience. So it takes I don't know what to you know to nivelar to put that in the same level like with it's so like I cannot put it in words. You
I
know?
understand. I think that the sex is very sacred, and I think a lot of people have made it into a commercial and made it so artificial where, you know, females are fucking men instead of men fucking females, and has taken away the pureness and the quality of the love that a female should bring into a guy's life and vice versa.
That's
You know what
another
I mean?
problem.
It's now we're just fucking each other over pretty much because even if you're having sex, it's not pure intentions. It's not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's another problem. I mean, nowadays, I'm kind of old school still, you know. I mean, I'm my late 40s. Um, not that I'm a saint or anything, you know. I'm a Miami girl. Like I've been here for 25 years. But
Colombian Miami girl.
Colombian in Miami,
Plus
imagine
one
that.
equals five.
Colombian in Colombia. But uh, I've always felt like one of the reasons why the world is so upside down and so crazy is because women forgot like where is their position in life. Men come to you like men take the initiativa, you know, like I don't know, like that hunter thing of women like going after guys and like desespero for attention and you know, I don't know. I'm old school. You know, I think women forgot to be women or woman, however you say it. So is it woman or women?
You're good.
Woman.
Either way. All
And
of
then
them.
what
All
man,
of them.
and then men don't know how to act or how to.
Listen, I tell you this straight up. You're on point with it, but females' energy is very powerful. Clearly, they can take a billionaire, a president. They have power over everybody. It doesn't matter how smart a man is. A smart woman can overpower and
Yes.
overtake any man,
Yes. Yes.
especially if she's beautiful
Yeah. Of course.
and the guy is not gay.
Yeah. Of course. Of course. Yeah.
But the moral of the story is that the female's power comes from being feminine and being inaccessible to most people. That's the woman feminine energy power. When that energy and power is accessible to everybody, then there's no power. You lose all the power. When if every man can has access, it can call you, text you, or can have your attention, then there is nothing that you have that has any value because you've diluted it yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this energy that guys have is because the females have taken away the masculine energy from the guy. They don't even allow the guy to be a guy because these girls think they're the same as a guy. Well, I tell you the reality is as simple as when you see a girl singing along a guy song, a hip hop song or a Latin song, which is disgusting words and lyrics of suck my dick and eat my pussy. And if a girl is singing this shit along, then automatically she's masculine. There's no way a feminine female pure soul that she's supposed to be, she should be having those words coming out of her mouth and expecting that to be respected by anyone. That's masculine energy. I don't want a bitch to sit there and talk about, oh yeah, suck my dick because Future said so. Fuck Future and fuck you. You know, fuck your future. Your future is fucked because of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this energy is brought up to people without even realizing. You sit into my car, you start singing along to fucking Tupac. You fucking lost your whole, your purpose as a woman. And you're not gonna get what you're gonna deserve or what you're gonna want or what you're gonna expect from me because you literally fucked yourself over by presenting that energy where it doesn't make me feel good in any type of way. I don't wanna hang out with a female that's like a guy. You know what I mean? It automatically makes you treat them like shit. But if you come at me delicate and you come in at me with energy where like, love, peace, and let me make your life more peaceful and how can I make your life easier? In the most loving way, not even to do anything, you know what I mean? With just the pure energy of like, it's okay, peace, love, you know, that's all the woman can really bring to a man. And if you don't have that within, and if you're worried about how much more money you make with a guy and you don't need a guy, guess what? No guy wants that shit, period, to begin with.
I know. Yeah, I went through all of that for many, many years, unfortunately, to learn I don't know, I mean, sometimes life, or we put ourselves in some situations of life, because in reality, no one does anything to you. We put ourselves in situations, right? I was a widow when I was 23, and I think when, you know, have this relationship with money and men, really crazy after he passed away, because when we were together in love and all of this, and he had no money. He had zero in his bank account. I couldn't even pay my daughter's C-section because I didn't have money to pay for it. But after, you know, he did a lot of money, and that's when I thought, you know, and I had a lifestyle, I had a life, but everything turned out like dark and really like not happy anymore. Like I was in love and happy with no money. So for me, money at 23 represented somehow like money brings
Happiness.
desgracia, not happiness. No, money is not happiness because when there's money and
There's
there's
problems.
control and there's a man with a lot of money, shit happens. So after that, and I was probably at around 23, you know, I'm like, no one in my life is gonna ever control me ever again. You know, like I'm the strong, whatever. I'm the man. You know, I became the man of the house, and then no man can step like. Imagínate, I was seeing myself so high here and so big. Like I know I'm 5'2", but I really thought I was like 5'8" for some reason. ¿Sí me entiendes? Como que, and I could make money the same way as a man. I was doing all the jobs of a man can do. I was selling cars, the only girl in sales. I was managing clubs, while the other girls are partying, you know, like like getting the bar. I'm managing the club, you know, like I'm doing the job of a man, never losing my feminine because I'm into makeup y esto, but always in my masculine. And no man was allowed to come to me and offer me shit, because how? How can he step into my life if I don't even let you open the door of my... But this is what I see. This is what happens nowadays.
That's the most dangerous woman, is the woman who knows how to be beautiful, but is masculine as fuck, where she can play the role of being feminine because she has the understanding and comprehended the fact that she needs to play guys in a certain way, which is completely fucked up. And that's most of the girls who have any kind of beauty or any kind of money that they make, or once they realize they can control guys with their beauty. It's disgusting because the energy is so fucking fake.
I know.
And they're so beautiful and they're so everything, but at the same time, once you notice it's a play, it's ruined. And that's most of these girls. They get fucked, like you said, once they go through the system.
Yeah, but also, I always thought, okay, who was the genius who one day came out saying, I want to be like a man? Like, at some point, I was so fucking tired, you know, like working as a man.
But
like
times
a
are
horse.
changing the...
Yeah, no, I know me, mi amor, now I'm my feminine completely. What I'm attracting is completely different. Like now, it's another story. But it took me fucking 40 years to understand, or 22 decades, you know, say. But who was the first woman who went out there and said, I want to be like a man. I want to produce money. I want to do
That's
this.
the
I
same.
would be
They
happy
said I want
doing
equal. I'm
cookies in that
equal.
oven for my 5 kids. And the man, que sea el hunter, go outside, go look for the food, come feed the kids, and I just have the nice
Yeah.
place for you to come back after war. You know, I heal you. I make love to you.
Yeah.
Pero no, before I was the man, and who was that girl that I follow? I don't even know. I can't remember, but crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. And if the world don't go back to basics, meaning
They are going. There's a lot more girls I'm hearing that they're saying, I want to just be home and cook and clean and be the perfect housewife. I swear.
Yeah, well-
now more than ever, within the last maybe
Yes.
6 months, things are shifting
yes,
because
shifting.
girls are realizing, and I think Corona fucked up a lot of people,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
now they're realizing really the power is in the man's hand. You know, at any given time, men do make more money than females.
But that's
Females need men as much as men need women.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, when women started having these OnlyFans and the power of being able to make their own money a little bit, they said, "Fuck, guys, we don't need them." But they realize in the progress of making the money, they're fucking ruining them their life. They're ruining themselves. They're losing themselves in the process where
Yes.
they're not even themselves anymore.
Yeah.
So now they're coming back of it. You know what?
yes, it's
I'll be
happening.
the woman. You be the man.
It's happening. It's happening.
It's happening. I see it big.
Yeah.
But again, like the whole system is set up to ruin the whole thing just because of the songs, just because of people how they sing along, just because of
The programming right now.
the perception of a guy and a girl. I actually wrote down a quote which is hilarious, and which is very true. I've noticed. It says, "After age of 30, men are no longer handsome or ugly. They're either rich or poor."
Oh, wow.
And it can't be any more true. Because I get compared to another fucking rich guy, but I'm not a rich guy. I'm so much more than that. But I'm 42, so everybody just sees black and white after a certain point. It's very true. They don't even care about your name. It's about like, yo, I see what you got. I want to be part of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's disgusting where like, after 30, it's not the same as it was before. After 40, it's not the same as before. And we are all not the same. And the energy that we need is completely different. And money is not energy, it's trash. You throw it away, and monkeys get attracted to it. But in reality, energy is what actually creates life.
Yes.
And the money. Without the energy, there's nothing there.
Yes, it's
You know
pure
what I
life
mean?
force
So
energy.
people use that to get things, and it's artificial. But in reality, you're never going to be happy. You know?
I've never been so happy in my whole life, honestly. I mean, I think finding your real purpose in life, or your real mission or whatever, I can honestly die tomorrow. And I just know that I came to do something and I'm doing it. And it's a long way for me to go. I just had like my linaje start growing. I had a granddaughter, my lineage is but I finally, I'm able to say what I'm doing is what I came to do because I was so miserable, like working all these jobs, like in the car business, like in clubs I did enjoy for a time, but it was not that I was partying, I was really working, and then I had to go and pick up the kids at 5, but the ambience was kind of cool for a while, getting to know nice people around Miami. Miami was different also back like 15 years ago, and but tired as fuck. There's no one day of my life, a year and a half ago, since I'm doing this work, that I have gone to one healing session saying, I don't want to go, or one activation that I say, it's just like, me da como una adrenalina. It's like maybe when you go to the gym, like this energy that comes all the way, like, and I feel so full. And it doesn't matter if I'm not making the same amount of money, because honestly, yes, financially it might be that I was like obviously in clubs making lots of money, car business, lots of money. But listen, now I'm happy. I'm in tune with what I have to do, and I don't work anymore. For me, it's not work.
it's
For
not
me,
work.
it's just having fun and helping people, touching hearts, or opening sexual chakra, or whatever you want to call it. Because honestly, I don't. We play with the sexual healer thing, and I think it's beautiful. You see me that way, but I think what I I'm good at with my sessions is more like opening people's heart, and that's the one that is the most difficult, honestly, because you men, you know, you're designed to just go to war and just like, you know, kind of like
That's what
hearts
I was
are.
gonna say. Like, what's the point of opening so you can get hurt?
That's your
It's
truth.
supposed
Oh,
to.
that's why you don't let me fucking open your heart.
That's the thing, you know.
No,
Once you
your
open,
heart está en un cage, and you throw the key, and you throw the key in the ocean.
yeah, I don't think anybody likes to be hurt, but some people, you know, ask for it. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's. I had it like that without knowing. I thought, you know, I always thought like I'm a good woman. I'm a woman of service. You know, I'm always like helping people, like whatever people don't even know. Like I go give food to the homeless with my kids or this kind of thing. I was always feeling in my heart that I was good, but it didn't mean that my heart was open. My heart was locked also. That was another reason why no one can really kick in, like, you know, now I look back and I'm like, fuck, like, you know, there was a good man here trying to
Yeah.
you know, to offer me the love and much more. And I'm like, you know, until 2 months of my life, you know, I opened my heart. I really did. And
But I think that's karma of life. By the time you learn your lesson, it's already too late. You're on to the next lesson.
yeah,
You never
yeah.
get to.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
they say
yeah.
you can't have
Oh,
your
yeah,
cake and eat it too,
yeah,
that's karma. Where
yeah,
once you understand and become, you're up
yeah.
to the next one.
Next one, yeah,
You're not.
yeah.
So you can't take the past with you.
Oh,
You gotta
no,
take your
no,
lessons
no.
and do better on the next one.
For
and, you
sure,
know.
for sure. You cannot bring the past or the future in. And I was thinking about it on my way here, driving. You know, it's raining, it's a beautiful day, like it's a beautiful night. You know, I'm lucky to come to see you tonight because we really vibe with each other. Like, you know, like you're one of those. Like, as soon as I saw you, I'm like, this guy is one of my tribe, you know. It's hard to explain, but you meet people in Miami every day. And you don't feel the same, right? So I'm driving here, I'm like, and I'm grateful, you know, to have just this little conversation. And I was just feeling it in my heart, you know, like driving, I'm like, not thinking about anything else but the moment, you know? Because when you bring the past and you bring the future anxiety, what's going to happen
Yeah.
now, how is it going to be, then you don't really enjoy, you're not in tune. And this is part of my process too, where I am. I was always in the past feeling myself a victim because, you know, my husband was killed in Colombia. Four of my best friends, like I come from the war. I really come from the war, from the 90s, you know? And I was always in the victim mode. Like I kind of like liked people to say, oh, she's a beast, she's strong, she can do it on her own. Oh, she was a widow, pobrecita, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
poor thing, because she's a widow. Let's give her a better price with the car. You know, let's give
Yeah.
her. And I was always taking advantage of it somehow until I realized, you know, okay, I have to bring out the warrior, not the victim, and it's beautiful too, you know. But yeah,
Well, thank you for being here. That's amazing. That's beautiful. It's all energy, you know. Nothing
you.
of this is what I do. This is just life that I live, and I try to have a purpose in people's life. And a lot of times people get hurt because I do say things in a very raw form, and I don't intend to be around forever. You know what I mean? So I try to have my impact when I can, and
No, but you're
if you-
staying forever in my life, that's for sure.
so yeah, I make sure people remember me when I'm gone.
My daughter was telling me today, but I don't understand. You just met this guy and he's telling you all of this. Exactly, because my friends are not gonna tell me this. This guy just told me, listen, if you don't fucking exercise, you're not gonna make it to fucking 50, okay? And she's like, Mom, but that's so, like, really? He told you, see, who's gonna tell me that? Freddy, Riyadh, my good friends for all my life? No, because they're, you know, like he said, you think you look good because you're this age, but in reality, what is this? How can you be healing people? Claro, my body is in so much pain when you started like touching me and forcing me and pushing me to. So, you know, life is beautiful because people just come to you sometimes también in that way. Okay, you don't understand why, but then you understand everything, you know?
And
Like,
that's what I was gonna say too. It's like the whole karma is that by the time you learn your lesson, you ruin the other person because by the time the person puts all the energy into fixing all your, like I'm talking about your past, you know what I'm saying? So it can never be the same. Even if you wanted to continue and you realized it, It's over. And that's what people don't understand. You can't go back and live the shit that you should have lived. Once you realize you live forward to the next thing and the next person, you don't try to associate or do the same or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To compare.
Yeah.
Everything and everyone is special in their own way. They bring something new out of you or into you one way or another, you know what I mean? And you experience that, and whatever's meant to be will be. If they're meant to be in your life, they will be. Most of the people are not meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
They're there to come and go. There's
Yeah.
8 billion people. You can't meet 10 people in your whole life and assume this is the whole life and the whole world that you know, and
Of course.
have these people control your being.
Yeah.
Most of the people you talk about as friends, most of the girls I know, they do drugs because of their friends. And the friends are the ones who give it to them. And I sit there and I tell them, yo, like if you have a really good friend, if I care for you, I don't even know you. But if I care for you, I can't see you doing this to yourself and accept it and be okay with it, knowing you have a kid or you have a family or you're doing things and you're trying to become better. I know for a fact this isn't going to work. But you have friends who are giving it to you and for free and making you go do it with them.
Yeah.
Those are not your friends. But you'll get hurt with what I say, and you go back to your friends because they accept for who you are.
Yeah.
But it's okay because most people belong where they are because of who they are, and it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, we need people to go to space every day too.
Yeah. Space needs to pay the location and the venue.
9/11.
Yeah.
We need employees.
I've never been to 11. Is
I've
it
been there
nice?
one time. And the strippers tried to take off my clothes, and I started taking off my suit, and the bouncers had a problem with it. So I left.
No, I heard it's amazing. I mean, it's a Miami thing.
It's
you
an
know?
experience
It's the
to have,
experience, yeah.
but it's not amazing where it's a lifestyle or a way of being or something like, oh my God, I'm missing out, really, because in reality, they've put the worst things in one place that can ruin a man and gave all the power to these bitches who can't even speak English.
You have a problem with that? You don't want
I
them
have
to
no
talk.
problem.
You just,
I have no problem
You just
with-
want to see them naked. Like, why do they need to talk?
Because they
Speak.
feel that they have so much power when they can take your money without even being able to try. They don't even try.
But
don't
they
even-
take your money.
But they'll fucking know how to play the game to take your fucking money. They make you feel bad or something, or something. And that's the girls I'm talking about, the girls who look pretty, who are gorgeous, who are supposed to be as feminine as fuck, they look like it, but
Yeah.
they really are the masculine
Yeah.
motherfuckers who will come and take everything out of your pocket. They won't feel bad about it.
Yeah.
They say, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's not the energy you want around.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
this is business.
I agree.
That's not good for me.
Yeah.
As far as just energy, because that should be natural. It takes away from the realness of life. So I can't respect that for me. I have no problem with them. I love them without paying them.
I have always admired their job, honestly. Like, wow, like to be in those high heels for 5 hours, 6
Baby,
hours.
come on. It's
That's
not
a
about
lot
those
of
heels.
work.
It's about what the work they do just for money. That's the disrespect. Like the what they're willing to do for money, the amount of disrespect they're willing to take. That's the shit that I don't like.
I don't know. I have learned in life one thing, and is the. I understand, obviously. That's why I probably
But
never.
that's not feminine energy,
Wait,
period.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I mean, no
yeah.
man wants the female accessible, especially in every hole possible, to everybody else, especially for a couple of dollars, and for any man that has any respect for themselves to accept that as this is proud to have moment. It depreciates the man.
Yes. Yes. Well.
And the men that are
The world that
actually
we are.
all empowered, and there's a lot of men who get empowered to go to 11, to be able to spend, to have a bunch of hoes screaming for them. But those are the losers who have no other way of accomplishing that. No, it's the truth. Because a real man should be able to do that for free. And me paying for a bitch to scream for me isn't empowerment, it's actually degrading and depreciating, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just more like we didn't come this far to be a monkey with everybody, you know what I mean? Like we've evolved. and I don't care impressed by anybody's titties. There's the thing. There's so many flavors. It's like, what's the best? There's no best. You just keep on eating. Well, that's the thing. The more you consume, the more you become. You understand? That's just life. It's not about food. It's about consuming people, energy, life, experiences,
yeah.
food, everything, you know, but in different ways.
Right.
So how else are you supposed to evolve? You consume books and,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, I mean, it's like.
Did
it's
you get the book I
time
sent
stamp.
you?
Yeah, I started reading. It's kind of complicated. Yeah, because
So I've given her the book Power, which is one of my favorite books. It's very empowering.
48. Yeah, I mean, I started listening to it. I bought it. I started listening to it. It's a lot of information, you know. Like I think I prefer the one reading because
Yeah, but that's the thing, you guys. This is what I try to like impose on people, where it's like, yo, if you can understand the fact that you're not the only one who had these problems, you're not the one that's going through it for the first time. There's thousands and millions of people who've gone on past and had the same issues worse than you.
yeah,
And there's people who have been very successful overcoming these things.
Oh,
And
yeah.
everybody who has done it, they have a common pattern or a way of being where it does work and,
Yeah.
and a way of
Yeah.
overcoming. For us to sit there and become victims or to sit there and to make excuses where there is a book you can read that can give you the answer.
yeah, yeah.
Read the fucking book. And you can't argue about the book because this book has been read
Yeah.
and appreciated by presidents
Yeah.
and by, you know, people greater
yeah, no,
than
it's
you.
interesting. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. But Diego, there's a lot of information. It's one of those that you have to go back to the first chapter and kind of listen
No, you
again,
redo it again, over. It's
right?
not a one-time
Because
thing.
there's a lot of information from many like politics stuff and this and reinados and like
It's a lot of examples, these
a
things
lot of
that to make sense.
examples. Yeah,
And the idea is to consume and to make it make sense for you. It's not just reading the book.
right, right.
And it's all about self-improvement. It's all about seeing a better view and a vision of life and a perspective of it doesn't have to be this way. You know, your situation is sad, but look at how great this guy's
Yes,
situation was,
yes,
and he was
yes,
able to
yes.
overcome, which is empowering. You know, so
Yeah, there's a lot of sentences that catch my attention and kind of like it's not like I don't agree, but it's like I'm like the book said something about
because
not
you're old, you're stuck
trusting,
of your ways.
not trusting like no one, something like that, like in someone like a big, I don't know who philosopher, whatever, and I'm like not trusting anyone. I'm like I trust almost everyone in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like what? I have to go back to that one because I'm not getting it. But maybe that's the way that it's supposed to be. Like,
Well, once you understand, you know, like you said, we're supposed to be animals. We are innate animals. We're supposed to be these creatures of hunters and gatherers and such, where you don't know what's going to happen. You can get killed every minute. You know, things are going to, that's the mindset. So not to be able to be comfortable because, yeah, most people that were going to come around you are predators. They're going to come try to take something away from
Yeah,
you, especially if you have things.
Yeah.
They're never going to come with the right intentions, just like that saying.
yeah,
After 30, men become rich or poor, and there's no handsome or, you know, he's cute or he's funny. If you have money, you can have the baddest bitches in Miami.
right.
And I've seen
Anywhere,
that with my
anywhere.
own, mostly in my, I mean, yeah. But I've realized so much more in Miami where, like, you know, you could be fat, disgusting, and smell like shit, and you can have hottest girls licking you in
Yeah.
public because you've paid them.
Yeah, well, but that's Miami and that's Dubai and that's Ibiza and that's everywhere where there's men with money that are coming to these places where there's girls that are completely and emotionally not attached to the emotion or to love. You know, they're just like attached to the money and attached to. And I have many friends like under 50s. You know, my friends for all my life. Like we hang out like here, there. They're retired. They did their money. They're living the life, and they keep complaining about it. Like, oh, because they only want my money. But es que that's what you're offering. That's what you're hanging out with. That's what you're. So what are you expecting? That they fall in love with you? You're gonna like make babies with this woman? She's completely unattached of the love. She is only attached to money. And that's a problem. And I see it here, I see it in Dubai, I see it in Ibiza, I see it everywhere. I run clubs for years. Like I had 70 girls
Well,
work
have
for
you
me.
noticed the
Like
girls that post? If
I
you pay attention, you guys can pay attention. Every girl that has posted a Dubai photo this year, they're in Dubai now. It's like the season. There's no man in the photo. It's just a female.
I
There's no man in those photos. None of those girls have a man in those photos.
yeah, no, of course.
And there's only a certain kind of man that will give somebody like that lifestyle and expect the
Claro,
disrespect.
but this is the thing. Men keep sponsoring this situation, so they keep doing it. And how do they pretend to find the wife when they're hanging out and they're authorizing these
But do you
transactions?
understand that every female that's looking up to these influencer females who are out there living
Oh
their
no,
life
it's
is influencing every other female to be
yes,
wanting to be the same?
yes,
And
it's
there's only
terrible.
one way you can get there, being those females, is by the same way that the other
Yeah,
females
yeah,
there.
yeah. Follow the. So why do you think the world is gonna go now? Because, like, how do you see the future, for example, for girls like the age of your daughter or my, like, what's the future for them?
Well,
Are we
thank
really
God,
going
and as
back
much as I hated school, my parents have always enforced me and my brother to go to school. I was supposed to be a doctor, my brother's a lawyer. So that's been the whole vibe. I feel like education, knowledge is power. You know, you're gonna get fucked over no matter what, but the more knowledge and power that you have, like I was telling you, then more you're gonna be able to withstand or sustain the damages that are gonna come your way. And you know, if you are stronger, you will take these hits easier, and if you're smarter, you will avoid a lot more than you would. You know what I mean? And especially, and I tell, you know, a lot of these people that come around is that it doesn't matter how smart you are, how educated, where you come from. Once there is drugs involved, once you're on 2C, once you're on coke, everything goes away. And it doesn't matter how many times you've done it. The first time is it.
That's it.
There's no going back. And I don't care how much morals you have. All that shit is out the door.
Yeah.
All that, you don't even know half the shit that happens or how half of the shit you act like when you're on these things, and everything is beautiful, but it's not.
Yeah. It's a
And that's the
circus.
problem. I feel like just education, you know, try to stay away from the nightlife, stick to the day life of trying to educate as much as possible. That's why I do too, is like most of the time if I have free, I try to educate myself as much as I went to school. And I don't know shit. I still learn something new from the books I sent you, and I reread them back again and again. And there's a never-ending process, and you try to pass down the knowledge and educate others. And most of the time, it's no conversations that really help. Has to be multiple things that's going to take to make the
Yeah.
change, you know. And that's why it's
Yeah.
essential to read the books, because if it's coming from a source that you have to respect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's awesome to be able to engage again with books. I've been doing, you know, when you just start projecting, visualizing things, and it just starts happening. Like, for some reason, I was thinking I need to start working out. I need to move my body. I know I'm not doing good. I feel like tiredness in my body, and suddenly you just showed up like this, like pushing me, like you have to do this, or like super raw, but like being honest to like do it, just fucking do it. And then I'm having all these books on my table, and then probably not the right ones, but still like with the intention of reading my books. And yes, it is important. It is important. I remember I grew up like this, reading a lot, and I completely disconnected from that. It's true.
Well, when you're growing up, you go to school, they give you books, you read
Yeah,
books, you
yeah,
exercise, there's all these classes.
yeah,
But after a certain age, all these things stop.
yeah,
But they only teach you so much to be able to walk and talk.
yeah,
Where are you supposed to learn the rest of the shit from? Your parents aren't the ones to teach you shit, because they've only gone so far, and you want to be able to go past them.
yeah.
And they can
course.
only give you so much knowledge, and especially if you're coming from another country, the knowledge that they have is completely irrelevant to
So,
America.
correct, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
another animal.
the only way you can learn, and most of the people that get influenced, is the people around you. But the reality is those people around you are not the ones who are going to teach you anything. They're the ones who give you the comfort of being who the fuck you are. That's why you found them.
Yeah, yeah,
So the real, knowledge comes from books, and finding things that are educational that you want, that you don't know about, because there's so much more that you need to learn, and the
Right.
more you consume, the more you become, the more you can project.
Yeah,
And
for
that's
sure.
just the key, where you have to continuously improve. And there's only two ways you can improve: mentally and physically. Everything else you have no control over.
Right.
So you can improve your brain by meditating and all these things, but in reality, you can only meditate so much. You have only so much knowledge. If you don't put in more knowledge into your brain,
You
there's
don't
only so
open
much you
that
can repeat the
space.
same bullshit
Yeah,
where
yeah,
you're not going nowhere.
yeah.
There has to be more.
Yeah. But I also see many young now, this new generation or whatever they call it, like under 20s. I see a lot of girls in a different kind of like, because the world is changing. There's a lot of awakening, and even though there's these all what we see in Miami, I also see many young girls and even guys connecting with
Okay. Isn't that
spirituality.
funny though?
Yeah, that's
Why is it funny? Because it's being exposed on social media that this is the way of being. So it's creating new cults of people. There's no way me, you, a 20-year-old, and a 40 and an 80 they're all over the country are talking about the same thing all of a sudden. There is no
right.
new awakening. What they did is they reset the whole world by throwing off the norm, by saying you don't have to go to work anymore, you don't have to go make money, you have to worry about nothing. We're gonna sit you home for 3 years and you're gonna shut the fuck up and we're gonna tell you what to do. They took away all your power and your control, and now everybody's coming back to reality, and they're looking for what the fuck am I supposed to do now, because it's not what it was supposed to be before, or what they intended that everybody was gonna come back and it was gonna be prettier, or at least the same, but it's not, it's worse.
Yeah.
And that's why everybody's, going to all these directions of making money and doing things where that it wasn't the norm before.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So the world has evolved for us to be in this position, and they're giving direction where it's okay. There's no way or a reason why me and you are having the same conversation that the 20-year-old should be able to understand,
Yeah.
unless this information is becoming commercialized where, okay, guys, you see 1111, guess what? Those are, you know what I'm saying? Where like everybody's feeling and acting the same. The specialness of it
Yeah.
has gone away, where like people that are assuming they know, they don't know. And everybody's acting and pretending and doing all these things because it's become commercialized. It's not what it was before, and social
Yeah.
media has made it.
Yeah, there's a lot of I get myself a little when I go to social media. There's so much going on that it gets a little como overwhelmed. No sé cuál I don't know what the word is for that. It's so much when you see uh, uh, that has a word. I just don't know how to say it in English. Pero es como un sabotaje of like all
It's
this healing,
sabotage
and
of,
it
different shit.
retreats, and so much like it's over.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Full-
become commercialized because they have realized there's a new path for people to be taking. There's so many people who are lost, who are looking for direction in a way. Guess what? This is a direction. All you need to do is figure out numbers. All you need to do is look at where it's like, you know what I'm saying? If you're really busy doing things, you're not going to be sitting around catching every number that comes up. If you're sitting there waiting and spiritually digging into shit, then you start checking time and waiting for things to happen. That's when you start catching more things. So a lot of these things are becoming more normalized, as it's a special thing when it's really just a perception. You're not really there, because a lot of these things take time and experiences in life,
Yeah.
and it can't be a meme
From
that's
one day
posted
to
on
the
a
other.
fucking story and it becomes your reality.
Yeah,
And you feel this all of a sudden.
yeah, for sure.
I know
No,
exactly
for
when you don't know
sure.
what the fuck it is.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, and
For
also
sure.
it's a lot of these things, like you said, is being sabotaged and becoming more monetized. Where
Yeah.
and because there are so many lost souls, especially the ones that have fucked up and have gone through these coronas and done things that they would have never done before, are coming back. I know a lot of OnlyFans girls who come back and say, "That was fucked up. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm not right in the head anymore." You know what I'm saying? Because they've gone through it and they realize, and now they're looking for a spiritual guide. God is the beginning. Everybody starts looking for God at that point where, like, okay, I need to go where my mama told me from the beginning.
Yeah.
And everybody starts finding God, and then spirituality comes right after, where like, okay, God is too strong. I've already fucked up with God. God is not gonna forgive me because I know, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
then you start
yeah.
becoming more spiritual because no religion really is gonna accept the fucking whoreness that exists.
Yeah.
You know, and it's true because you notice these girls try to become about God, and every girl that has a bio that says God first, they're the biggest fucking whores. They're just trying to tell you, like, God, forgive me for what's about to happen next.
Don't make me laugh.
It's true.
My
I try,
belly
it's
hurts.
promise. You want to fucking catch an easy one? Read God first.
Let me see what my profile says on Instagram. Shut up. I've seen that a lot. Oh my God, no puedo, no
That's a
puedo.
known fact. I just gave it away, guys. That's a big secret. Easy target.
First.
No, but that's the thing, you know. People try to take advantage of God,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and they think because they pray. I have a chick who got mad at me because she was doing Tusi on Saturday and she was gonna go to church on Sunday because she thought she needs to go to church. Which I said, if you feel like then you shouldn't be doing Tusi the night before. If you can unknowingly do things and go pray for forgiveness the next day so you can feel better about yourself for being a dirty whore and continue to do that the next week and go back next Sunday again, there's no point for God. You're not with
Yeah.
God. You're just a lame ass bitch trying to justify your behavior,
Okay.
thinking that God is going to forgive you and
Yeah.
it's okay.
Yeah.
Because your mama said God forgives everything. That's not how it works.
For sure, for sure.
And then when they get kicked out of church because the priest sees them at the club,
Yeah. Yeah.
in Miami, shit happens.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
You end up at 11 with the priest from Sunday morning.
The
And then you
pastor.
can't go back to church anymore. And then
The
you go
pastor.
online, start searching for spiritual healers. And try to collect the 1.
Yeah, well, there's the saturation is the word that I was looking for. Una saturación in the market. Like I was promoting a little retreat that I have for non-duality immersion. It's like this energy, a little bit different than CAP, but something that I learned recently, and I didn't know how to market it because I see so much stuff going on in social media. I completely got like, let me just do this word of mouth, like with my students for 2 years. I don't want to even post this because people will like so much saturación en el mercado, in the market.
That's what I was thinking, actually. I think there's a huge market to be taken advantage of as business. Because everybody literally is trying to become spiritual some way, somehow. And
That's exactly where I am in my life right now. When I decided to do only spiritual work, finances came down because I don't work on a check. I just do what I do. And it's been like, kind of like, yeah, good, but not the same financial situation that I had when I was working in sales or working in clubs, right? But I don't want my healing career or however, like path that I am right now to just be the thing that pays the bills, because it totally loses like the point of like the where I want to do it from. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see, like, I do retreats and I'm gonna charge people $500 or $65 for a class or $300 for a private, and Miami gets more and more expensive. I don't want to fall into I need more clients to pay my bills. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah, but see, that's the thing. Like, I think once you remove the fact that you're making money to pay bills,
It's a system of belief. It is a
see,
system
that's
of
what
belief.
people, that's one of the big
Yeah.
influencer people. I don't know which one it was, but they had a reel where they said there's not that much difference between rich people and poor people. Poor
Only
people
See.
make money to pay
Mindset,
bills.
yeah.
Rich people
Yeah.
make money for
Yes,
like
correct,
different things.
correct,
So, you know what I'm
correct,
saying? It's
correct.
more about the mindset.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
Because
I
in
grew up,
reality,
no,
when you're
yeah.
making money, you're not really making money out of work. It's more of money comes when you're doing
Right, right,
life
right,
and,
right, right.
living, the
But
way
yeah,
you
but
should
I've been
be.
going through a transition of works that used to pay lots of money, comparing spirituality, and I really don't mind, but it might be a system of belief that I need to change myself. Just because when I was growing up, and I started like talking about all of this in my house, my mom and my grandma were always telling me, you're never gonna make money doing spiritual stuff. I wanted to study like chiromancia when I was 14, 15 years old. It's like you read the hands, you go to Spain, and there's a career called chiromancia, you know?
Listen,
And
I
they're
think
like,
you can make a
you're
lot of money with the
crazy, like
spiritual
you
work.
don't,
I don't know what you're
yeah.
talking about. I think
No, yes,
if
yes,
you have every right to charge the right amount of money, if you're gonna give somebody an experience of their lifetime,
yes,
it's
definitely.
priceless.
Yes, yes.
If you're gonna have a retreat that people are gonna come out and their life is gonna be different, that's an
Yeah.
experience that's priceless
Yeah.
because there isn't that many things that we can do nowadays that can change you in a matter of
Yes.
hours, or you know what I mean? So as long as there is something that you're giving them, you can charge them and it's priceless. You
Yeah,
could put
people will
$1,000,
pay.
but it shouldn't be
Yes.
because you have to pay your bills.
Exactly.
It's because you're
Exactly.
putting an
Yes.
experience together that's so priceless.
Exactly.
I can charge them 5,000. It's not to pay my bills. It's because that's what it's worth.
Exactly, exactly. Oh no, I'm just telling you. I mean,
I'm
the
just telling you, this is a businessman.
transitions of
This is a
changes of
business.
beliefs.
And most of
Yeah,
this is the thing you need to understand. A lot of you healers, a lot of artists, a lot of people who do work with their heart. A lot of artists. They don't have the business
side.
aspect to
Yes,
them to
yes,
understand that
yes.
this isn't about
The
me
structure. Yeah,
doing this for you so you can pay me.
yeah,
It's an exchange where you got to respect my time and energy
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
put into you. And once you improve somebody's life in any matter,
yeah.
you
No, but
can ask
that's
for
true.
anything you want.
That's true. All the artists, bohemios, and yeah, we don't have that structure on the finance side, like on
So I'm
the
giving you a new perspective
Yes,
of like it's
yes,
not
yes.
about 500. It could be $5,000. There's a lot of people that pay a lot more. You're talking about Dubai. There's millions being spent for experiences.
Yeah, right.
So if you're gonna give me $1 million experience, charge me 10,000, please. Let me
Yeah.
experience it.
See, it's like, why are you charging so little? Probably the
Well, that's the thing. If you really do see the value and the benefit, and you do change somebody's life, and the experience is the experience that
Yeah.
is what it's meant to be for, then it's worth every
Yeah.
penny of it.
Yeah, I think also when you're doing spiritual work and you want to help people, I mean, what's the point of helping people if you want to like rip them off, like taking
No,
5,000?
there's
I mean,
only
there's people
one way.
that
There's
can't even
only
afford
one way you
going
can
to my
help
class.
people.
Huh?
There's only one way you can help people. If you help yourself first, then you can help others. There's no way you can help others if you're not financially, mentally, physically strong, period. Because
Right.
guess what? Most of the time you're helping people is giving something, and it's
Yeah.
most of the time is money involved.
Yes, yes.
Even if it's not monetary money you're giving them, they're going to be asking for spaces and things that are worth money. So
Yeah.
you're constantly giving. So it's completely essential for you to be worried about yourself first to be able to continue to do
Right.
so.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if the people don't understand that, then those people are selfish motherfuckers themselves, because how the fuck are you going to continue to take away from you and be okay for yourself and continue to do so for other people? You can't.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, when the service part comes out, I always feel like I want to help people, and some people can't even like afford paying their own bills. So it's kind of fucked up, you know? But you're right. I mean,
Listen, a lot of these people that complain about these things, they put themselves in these situations, and I'm not saying everybody.
yes, the
but
victim, what we're talking about. What we're talking about.
listen,
The victim side. The
people
victim
who want to
side.
be in these positions,
Yeah.
they're not ready to be spiritually. They have to go through these things to figure things out,
Yes,
to
it's
get
true.
past that.
It's true.
I've came from a family who had everything, millions of dollars back home. We came here with nothing. We used to live in a one-bedroom apartment with 4 people with my parents, and we shared. You know what I'm saying? And my parents worked for $3.75 an hour when we came to this country because that was the minimum wage. So I know the struggles, and we went through it. And everybody, in a way, has to go through these struggles. There's nothing wrong with it to expect to come to a country this great from a shithole
Right.
that you came from and expect things to be beautiful and to be handed to you, or you don't have to work for it. It's kind of absurd to be expecting that.
Right.
Fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are? No, true. Everybody else who came to this country that's been successful is somebody there now has went through the same shit or is worse than you. Read the books. I'll send you more books. You know what I mean? There's so many of these guys, immigrants who came to this country, struggled, went through the shit, minimum wage, got their ass, all these shit. You know, it happens to every one of them. You should too, and you have to. And if you're not gonna be able to overcome these things and go through it, you know, my first job was McDonald's. I worked at McDonald's. My second job was Taco Bell. I worked at both places. So when I go through the drive-through, when the guys look at me, oh, nice car, I tell them I used to be one of you. I used
Oh,
to be
that's
that.
lovely.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? So
amazing.
there's nothing wrong with it as long as there's growth. But to
Yes.
sit there and tell me, help me, I
Yeah.
can't do these minimum wage shit for myself, but I need you to take away time for you and help me. I know I can. It's easy because all it is monetary and it's very little amounts compared to what the reality is. But you need to be able to overcome that as a human being to get past that phase of life, to be able to get to next levels of
Yeah.
growth.
Exactly.
And people expect that to be given to them or be handed to them because it's easily done by a lot of other people. In the process, it ruins everything, including you, even
Yeah.
if you get past it.
True.
And that's where the entitlement and all this other shit comes in, where nobody wants a 9 to 5 job, but everybody wants to have everything.
Yeah.
Then how the fuck are you supposed to make money? I mean, if you don't have to work 9 to 5. Most people who make money, they work more than 9 to 5. I used to work 18 hours a day when I had all my businesses in LA. I would be at work until 4 o'clock in the morning. I didn't get here not working or not fucking going through it. But people here, you talk to them, they say, I don't want to have a regular 9 to 5. But guess what? I had a 9 to 5 after I went to school and got my bachelor's degree. I had a 22 units in college and I went to work after until 9 p.m. from
Right.
noon doing telemarketing. No, I was selling LA Times from Fresno.
For what?
From Fresno, I lived in Fresno. We had a telemarketing company that we were selling LA Times newspaper over the phone after college. But that was the shit I went through to
Right.
become the man I had to become, to understand that you do what you gotta do.
Right.
There's no 9 to 5. Yeah, nobody wants a 9 to 5. And 9 to 5 shouldn't be anybody's wanting because that's not gonna get you anywhere. It needs to be more than that. But people have a problem with 9 to 5 to begin with. You understand the basic people who have the 9 to 5, they complain about working 40 hours a week because they work too much and it's hard and it's complicated. Real successful people work more than that. They don't work 9 to 5, they work 10, 18, 14, 15 hours a day and they don't have a weekend. They don't go until Friday and they don't give a fuck for the weekend.
Yeah.
They go party, they work every day.
Right. Do you think like it has, because I remember when I was in that 9 to 5 job, not 9 to 5, but in the car at BMW, and I was really hating like to go the last year, but suddenly something changed and I became really grateful to be able to have that job and I kind of like surrender to it. I remember it was a year and a half ago, one day I completely changed the movie. I came walking grateful to be able to part of that beautiful showroom, those beautiful cars of $2 million cars, like sometimes parked there. Like, and I just changed that. And once I changed it, and I was grateful to have it because honestly, I was bitching all the time, like, oh my God, BMW, I have to go again.
Yeah.
And when I changed it, then I was able to leave the place. I don't know how to explain it. It has something to do with it. Because I was grateful at some point, like, thank you for this job because I know there's a lot of people out there that would love to have my work, like what I do.
Well,
to
I
be
think it's
here.
exciting to be able to make things happen. And if you're in a position where your job is not based off of a minimum wage or a set salary where you can make more by doing more, that should be exciting because as if you're able and if you're capable, you should be able to make so much more than what's given to you at a minimum level, which shouldn't make you happy. But that's the
Yeah.
thing, people are okay with being minimal, unhappy with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I tell you an interesting story. I don't think anybody knows this story. I used to work at LA Fitness. After I got dropped out of school, I was partying too much, so I dropped out of school, medical school, and I wanted to go into my passion of gym. That's what I like. And I started working at LA Fitness, and they put me in the bottom of the barrel to start with. I wanted to be a trainer. They didn't want me to be a trainer. They want me to sell because I could talk. Anyways, within 1 month, I was the weekend manager for a new facility they moved me to open up a new gym amongst Asian people. It was in Monterey Park. Within a month after that, I became promoted to Valencia, one of the biggest locations they had. As the weekend manager, within a month after that, I was the general manager of their oldest location in Northridge, and I became the most successful general manager they've ever had in the history of LA Fitness, making $15,000, $20,000 a month.
Wow.
Back then, in college, and literally just fucking girls in the parking lot all day. I swear, it was a fucking movie, you know. But I wasn't there 8 hours. I was there from 8 o'clock to in the morning until maybe 10 o'clock at night. It wasn't my job or my position to be there that long.
Right.
I was only supposed to work 8 hours, but that's what I loved doing, and I made the most of it. The funny story is that when I first started, there was this manager who came and tried to make me feel like shit because he had power. And, you know, I had my foot on the trash can when he came in. He was the operations manager at the time. And he talked to me like some punk, you know, like, get their fucking foot off. What the fuck you think this is? Well, I'm like, okay. Within a month, I got promoted. He got demoted because he stole toilet paper. He got caught. He got demoted. I made him drink jacuzzi water with a Starbucks cup for $40 because he became broke right after he tried to step on me, and I got promoted right after. So I taught him a lesson to be humble about your position because you're not always going to be there. You always go up and down, and you don't treat nobody in some type of way because he was some fat fuck who was insecure about me and what I was. And like I said, within 3-4 months, I was the most successful manager the LA Fitness has ever had. And at that time, they had 365 locations.
Oh my God.
And the owner met with me and said, what the fuck are you going to do with all this money you're making? I said, I already spent it. And that was like the whole, you know, life is crazy, you know? You just have to constantly improve and kind of just try to become as much as you can, no matter what position you put into, and appreciate the fact that if you have an opportunity to make something, you know, especially money, you know, you gotta make it. You gotta make the most of it, and you gotta create. And that's what becomes exciting in life, is to be able to create. And once you are able to create, it's not just about sex energy, it's about anything you can create. And once you understand that it's not that complicated, if you're doing good business, if your heart is in a good place, if you're not trying to fuck nobody over, people will give you money for that experience.
Yeah.
Because not everybody's trying to do that.
Yeah.
And you know, there's the special separate people that exist to appreciate life past the basic monkey, interactions and way of being. So you got to create that own little bubble and welcome people in, because there's a lot of people waiting and looking for it, you know.
Yeah,
So, but you can't assume that it's for everybody. It's not.
Yes.
It's not. Some people belong where they are, and it's okay.
Yeah, it's part of the process. Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, not everybody who's awakening can be on the same boat as everybody else who's awakening. There's different levels of everything in life.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and yeah, exactly. And where I am in life, I'm grateful where I am. I'm still growing, I'm still awakening.
This is the
somehow.
oldest woman I've ever talked to in my life. I swear, I was like, yo, this is a new experience, because I honestly, like, I don't know who's the oldest. I don't think I've ever been with anybody older than me, as far as just even being able to have a conversation, past that.
Well, you're very in tune into your masculine, and I think we had this conversation before, where you said, like, in the beginning you shouldn't even be with a man that is younger than you. And I was in a relation for 10 years with someone 6 years younger. So, you're very in tune in your masculine. Like, you know.
Okay, this is a belief that I have. Okay, I think the guys who date older women have mommy issues. They want a woman to take control. No, it's true.
Yeah.
Because the older woman is not gonna let a younger guy come into their life and control her life.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the woman is already set. The guy comes in and finds her to be this amazing
Yeah.
creature that gives him purpose, which
Sí.
is a mom to tell him what the fuck to do because that's what
Yeah.
he's used
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
And that's the energy that I've been feeling towards those guys. And any man wants a woman to be younger so they can learn from them, to give them some sort of purpose in a place.
So,
you know?
so for you, there's no love that doesn't have any age, that doesn't exist.
No, for me, it's all about energy. I appreciate the exchange of energy. And, you know what I mean? It's not always about sex. And I feel like you can love people in so many different ways and
Yeah.
exchange relationships in so many different ways. And even have a sexual relationship in some ways without having to have the obligations of it being anything further as far as a relationship
Yeah,
is considered
yeah,
to
I
be.
agree.
It doesn't
Yeah,
have to be that
exactly.
way because we don't all have the same purpose. And if I was locked up in a relationship, in a marriage somewhere, I wouldn't be able to meet you, her, or
Right.
most
right,
of these
right.
people that I've had experiences with have
Yeah.
changed my life, their life, and all these things,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. No, for sure. No,
I feel
yeah,
like I have
that's
a more purpose in
yeah,
life than
yeah.
a basic human.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Are you from this planet?
Listen, you know, it's a beautiful thing. You need to live and grow. You know, Baskin Robbins lied when they said there's only 31 flavors. There's so much more, and we need to experience this flavor.
Girl.
It's true. There's so many flavors, and yeah, now they're mixing. There's new flavors coming out. It's the exotic stuff, you know. It's the, you know, just
Exotic
like the weed.
creatures.
You know, they started coming out with the hybrids and the exotic stuff.
Yeah, but that side I'm enjoying a lot. Like right now, being in with myself, you know, like I've been in a relation all my life.
I
And it's
think
so
as you get
awesome to
older,
feel.
you start realizing, you know, that Benjamin Button movie had a really big meaning. You know, at the end of the day, you need to become as young as your youngest self possible you can remember or to become. You start doing the basic things of like riding a bicycle or, you know,
Yeah.
jumping and running and doing things that take you back to your happiness because
Yeah.
when you were a child, that's when you were really the happiest.
Exactly.
And, you know,
Yeah, that's all about the Kundalini energy, connecting with that.
I feel like that's better than Kundalini. I feel like that's our nature of being from thousands of years before Kundalini, where we were meant to be animals and free and to be able to have no worries and just worry about today getting that fucking meal and, you know, sleeping until the next day comes up and we worry about what happens next.
But we're born like that.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm saying.
we
That's in our
lose.
DNA.
But that's what we lose with the time. That's why the Kundalini, some people, might be that you don't disconnect yourself from that. Maybe some people never disconnect from it, but some people completely disconnect from that, from dreaming, from jumping, from being a kid. From,
Well, it's not
you
people
know,
doing it intentionally. It's just the way it's
the
programmed. It's
system,
supposed
the
to be
religions,
that way.
your own parents
Yeah.
sometimes, you know, telling you you're not able to do this, you're not able to do that. So, you know, connecting back to this, so to this, you know, energy for me has been, because I think I completely disconnected from it.
I think you're right, especially with the parents, because one of the biggest things parents put up in you is fear. And with fear, there's nothing you can accomplish in life. There's the whole point of no limit. And my mindset is that there's nothing you can't accomplish. There's nothing you can't do.
Sky's the limit.
And if something has been done before, there's no reason why you can't do it. If it hasn't been done before, there's no reason why you can't be the one doing it.
Right, right.
And a lot of these fears and the limits come from your parents telling you,
System
be
of belief.
careful.
Yeah.
No, when you were a child, they were just like,
Yeah,
"Go
yeah,
watch
yeah.
your step, be
You're
careful,
gonna
don't
fall.
do that, don't do." All these things become, all these things are gonna happen to me. And guess what? In life, a lot of things are gonna happen to you, and it's
Yeah.
completely normal. And want it or not, you're gonna get fucked over. You fuck people or not fuck people over, they're
Yeah.
gonna come fuck
Yeah.
you. Things are gonna happen to you, wanting or not. You don't know what it's gonna be. So it can be something else for me, something else for you, but things are going to happen. All you can do is be ready and prepared mentally and physically as strong as possible because there's nothing that you can be preparing for other than being strong enough to be able to handle what may come your way. You know what I'm saying? So taking the fear out and having the whole mindset of like, yo, if I die, I die. Because you're gonna die. You don't know how you're gonna die.
Right.
Nobody knows how they're gonna die. So to assume that you're gonna fucking not do these things and live longer because of it, guess what?
Yeah.
Something else will happen and things will be different just because of that. So you can't limit yourself and be having fearful thoughts about what may happen.
Right.
That's how you stop doing it. And that's how most people don't get anywhere, is because they're afraid of failing or being hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of these things that we talk about my heart. My heart is very powerful. I put my heart into everything, but having a hurt heart where you have to worry about feminine things doesn't make you a bigger or stronger man. In the bigger picture, it doesn't make you a bigger hunter. So a man like me wouldn't want to be in a position where he's controlled by his heart, really. It's more about what's the bigger thing to do and the better thing to do, you know? So I try to stay away from the heart connection. Because, yeah, especially females, they fucking take advantage, you know?
But
They
that's
know.
a system of belief.
It's not about belief.
Not
No, but I'm saying, and not in everybody, but that's what happens when your heart is out there. You know, there's this whole weakness of females coming and, you know.
That's a fear. That's a fear-based belief.
Yeah, because it's happened before, obviously.
Just because it's happened before doesn't mean you walk around in fear.
But I'd rather not be in that position to begin with.
Well, then that's being fearful or making a decision that
No, because I know it's better for me, because I know it's better for me to be in a position of power if my heart is not in control of what's going to happen in my head.
you have more power if you were in control of your heart.
You're just afraid of
You
love.
can't be in control of your heart. You can be in control of your mind, not in your heart. You can't control your heart. If you can control your heart, that means you're fake. That's not real. No, you can't control your heart. Can you control your heart?
Not me.
Yeah, which takes away the
You
realness.
can control what.
Yeah,
you
which
can
takes
control,
away the realness of the real
You
raw
can
power.
control the access, yes.
Give someone, you can allow your heart to be open. You give someone access. They betray your access. You set the boundary. You're present enough to know.
Exactly. Why would you want to go through that cycle? Because you already know it's going to happen.
It's not a cycle. It doesn't need to be a cycle because it stops before it even becomes a cycle. Because as soon as that person crosses the line, you know to have already you can have boundaries around your heart in general. And whoever you decide to let in is one thing, but you give them access to hurt you when you let people in. But you get to decide who gets to come in that circle. But to not use your heart, the heart is the most powerful creator in the world. Everything that lasts in the world, like music, timeless music, stuff like that, stuff that lasts comes from the heart.
Yeah, but hard, with a lot of pain. With a lot of pain.
No pain, no gain.
Exactly. And the pain has created me to be who I am now. Exactly. I like the pain and I like how it hurts. But I'm not willing to get anybody the power to hurt me in that sense.
Then that's a fear-based belief. Let's just accept it.
Well, I'm not giving anybody the power.
Well, you don't have to.
It's my power.
But it's fear. It's fear. Fear of opening your heart.
But it's not about that. Yeah, it may be fear, but in a bigger picture, it changes you as a man. You're not the same person. You know, you become weaker as a man. You do. As much as you guys don't understand and care.
I understand what
But
you're
as a
saying.
man, it makes you weak. Listen, if I care for somebody, I worry about them. I fucking start thinking about them. I start calling them. I wonder if they got home. I don't, like, that's the things, like all these things become because you know what life is and, you know what I mean? You start thinking things and takes away from, like, the worries you shouldn't be having.
So if a
Like,
dad has kids, is he not supposed to worry that his kids are not going to be okay because he's not supposed to have his heart in the connection? He's like, I don't want to have to worry about you. I don't want to have to.
yeah, but kid is your own child. You don't have to be dealing with that with a
But if you're
female.
a single dad and you have kids and it's like your wife dies or something like that, and then you just, oh, I'm not going to let my heart get into this, and now I'm going to
We can't compare kids to the female, and that's a whole different world. I love my kids. My kids love me. My love that I share with my kids is completely different.
I know, that's what I'm
I think
saying.
it refers to the love, like love, open the heart,
I feel
in
like the
like
real love
love
is with your kids.
for
Real
like with
love, pure
women,
love comes
like
with
in
the daughter.
relation, more like in relation is what you. I mean, listen, I feel you because that's what happened to
Well,
me
that's
for
the thing
many
too. When you're
years.
younger too, when you haven't been fucked over as many times, you think
It's
different.
true.
True, that's not true.
It's
What you
true.
guys just said is the fact that when you're younger, you're more connected to your spiritual self. So as a kid, you are naturally already connected to that Kundalini energy. The only reason you have these fear-based beliefs and you let people hurt you is because you have your parents who are projecting their fears and insecurities onto you. But imagine a child that didn't grow up with parents around them. They're some of like, or like more neglectful parents. They're some of the wisest children ever. You see those movies with the kid that is like 40 and parenting the
And we were just talking about this earlier too. Is that when me and her having over 20 years of experience of going through the fuckery is a different mindset.
Yes,
for 20 years when you could have learned. Like that's what I'm
But
saying.
it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. When people come around you, most people that come around you, they're not there to be there for the rest of your life. And most of the time they come around you, they're there to take away from you. They're not there to give you anything.
That's true, and the kid understands that at a young, primal age. And
So you can't compare a kid to a relationship or a female because every female that comes into your life is looking for an upgrade. A female doesn't come into your life for a downgrade. Huh?
male's looking for what is a male looking for then when he comes into a
Man is looking for a pure relationship and love and respect. That's what man is looking for.
looking for an upgrade?
Yes. That's what we were
depending.
talking about.
See, I mean, not every woman, but I think is what's happening in the world.
But why wouldn't it? She's supposed to go look for less. Would you tell your daughter to go look for less? Like
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. But what is a man is supposed to get? Men can't be upgraded by a woman. Woman can't upgrade a man. What do you mean? She can make his life better in different ways, more love and respect. But that's the thing. Most of the time, being nowadays the females the way they are, just having the existence on social media is very disrespectful for a man to have that in his life. And he takes away from his masculinity and the energy that he deserves from the woman that he's supposed to have in his life. Naturally, it's what it is now. So there's a lot that you don't even understand as a woman, and because it's normalized, and the way I was raised, all this shit didn't exist. So woman is one man woman, and woman doesn't go around having likes and follows and posting pussy pictures so other guys can look at it and like it. All these things didn't exist in my time.
you're talking about a certain brand of woman.
I'm talking about social
Yeah,
media and life.
Well, not every woman's on social media. I have social media and I have one picture on my profile.
Well,
Right, yeah.
there's only listen,
Yeah.
we're talking about general public and you're talking about specific people.
That's not general public. Not every girl is pussy popping on Instagram. Like,
Well, it's 99% of the people.
if you posted a picture in a swimsuit, it would be obscene. So like that is not
But that's not the norm,
that's
no.
the part of the world that you grow up. Like LA, here, all these big places. Yes, there's more women probably like that. But all around the world, far and few women who are very.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying in these big city places, you see a lot more women.
We were talking about cities like Miami,
I know, but we're not
Dubai.
talking about people who are in the countryside. We're talking about the world that exists, where the money is, where the life is. We're not trying to talk about back in the days. In the countryside is different, yeah. In Afghanistan is very different. In Kazakhstan is even worse. But we're talking about America and what we're living in our space. That's what's around us. That's what's happening.
And we're
Everybody's
all
on-
talking about like where we are in life, in our experiences.
Well, that's
like
the thing, it's not even just
I
social
read you
media.
and I feel you where you are, and the space where you are. But yeah, as he
I
said,
love
like,
your energy. Your energy is
we
perfect
live so much
for the bigger
shit,
picture.
and we're so polluted more than you probably, with
Yeah,
all the
you're pure.
experiences and all of this that is normal for us to don't have like the heart right there, like put like a papaya, like come and eat it, because
You get to choose because just because you're young doesn't
of
mean you
course, yes, you can choose, yes.
for me, like neither both my parents not in my life. My mom abusive all the way, physical, everything, all the way up until I was 18. Same with my dad. And I could have easily chose to shut off my emotions. I see my siblings, addiction, generational stuff. It's all in my DNA. I
Right.
get to choose what you do. I chose to keep my heart open. I chose to stay separate mentally, and it's really hard to do when you have chaos going on around you all the time. We didn't half the time we didn't even have water, food, anything. It was survival of the fucking fittest. But you know what? I got through it, and I'm so far in my life now. I put myself through college. I started my own business babysitting when I was 12 years old, going around the neighborhood passing out flyers. I mean, there's just
Yeah.
so much. I feel like we use like age and we use like going through life because at such a young age, sometimes we're not taught to kind of have a different perspective. We're taking our parents' perspective, so it's like a pass down,
I think you need to wait for your own
generational way
podcast.
of living. Yeah, I really do want my own eventually.
No, you like I'll give you your own like time to say because this is very true whatever you're saying.
It is.
It's very essential, but you need to
I
understand
mean-
you're not like everybody else.
Yes,
Everybody
she's
else
not.
isn't like you. So stop.
That's what I'm saying. Not everyone else just has this like.
You just came from Kansas. There's nobody here from Kansas. We don't know Kansas people. Whatever, even worse. Kentucky is even worse than Kansas.
But you know, but she has a point there. Let me tell you, where do we apply?
I know, but guess what? Guess what makes the world go around? LA, Miami, Dubai. That's what makes the world go around. That's the things that set the standard.
The point I'm trying to make is you always get to make a decision. Doesn't matter what age you are, you make a decision to close off your heart. You make a decision when
Yeah,
something bad happens to you.
that's
you
true.
always choose how you react.
That's true.
Close your heart. You can choose to sit in the pain. You can choose to not grow.
That's true.
You always
Yeah, we choose. We choose. You choose. I choose for 20 years to close
Okay,
my
and
heart.
that's what we were just talking about. When you have somebody in your life, you're not the one choosing. There's so much influence. A lot of things happen because of who's in your life, your friends, and the people, you person you're with.
still get to choose how much access you give out.
And where do we put there? Where do we put there? Like, let's not think about what happened in the past. You know, what we were talking about before. Let's not think about what happened. Let's move forward with what we have today.
That's
We're
true. I
basically
mean, I guess it's a
we're
good way of
basically
looking
not
at it.
applying what we're, because honestly, she's right. I mean, why did we pick then to just live in the past when it comes to open our hearts? Like, oh, let me just don't open my heart because someone's gonna come and fucked up my heart. It was in the past. Like, now is now. Why are we not applying that one there?
I think maybe no, but listen, no, I mean it's true. I agree with it. I think maybe it's gonna take the right person to come and maybe do it. I don't know. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, yes.
listen, everything is energy.
Hiciste que lo dijera.
Everything is energy. Like, listen, you're here for a reason. I didn't invite you. You didn't. I didn't go find you. You didn't come find me. Like, it happened. She came out of nowhere. Like, everything happens for a reason, and you go with the flow. No, nothing is intended. I don't know what's going
Right.
to happen in the future.
Right.
You know, I wish for bigger and better things, but for what it is, for my purpose and my existence now, I feel more safe and better where I am and smarter because of everything I've gone through. In the last 2 years in Miami, I've gone through shit. Like, I've gone through a lot, and everybody sees the party and the happiness, but like, there's a lot of
Reality.
people that fuck me over and that try to fuck me over and try to take advantage of my kindness, try to take advantage of money, my space, my friendship. I had guys that I was having breakfast with for 6 months, ended up putting felony charges on me, going snitching on me, and making up stories on me where I've given them money and time and my friendship, and he wasn't even females. So, you know, there's. Stop it. This is my podcast. Thank you.
No, Miami's another animal. Yeah, I've been here for so long and I've seen it
And this
all.
is the thing, like, you know, it's
Oof.
easy. It's. I'm not talking about it's easy or hard or whatever, but like, you know, obviously you go through life and you learn your lessons, and
Yeah,
you know,
you do.
there's things that you know become in the process, and things that you want to enjoy and be happy with, and you know that there's certain things that are always, you know, it's not rocket science to know 1 + 1 is always equals to 2. You know, you can get creative and, you know, make it into 3 sometimes, but
Right,
you know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
It's always going to come back to reality.
right.
You know what I mean? You know, there's the red flags of. This is a funny one. I don't know. Don't get offended.
You know?
But you know, there's the thing of like, don't date single moms, and you know, it's they're beautiful and they're amazing, and you know, you try to feel bad, and you know, you understand the situation, you know, want to allow them, but you realize there's a big reason why they say that, and it's against any man to come into any woman's life that has a child and another situation that's going to be any kind of benefit to the guy that's in the new picture. You know what I mean? It takes away, and it's a huge red flag. There's many books you can read about it that guys who are trying to be the should stay away, and I always try to prove otherwise. And they always ends up proving itself wrong, where it's true. It's
Oh yeah.
and it's, you know what I mean. It's some things are just the way they are, and you know, it's in the books again for a reason. They tell you certain things where, you know, there's nothing wrong with being normal and having certain ways of being, but you know, if you want to be achieving and creating and growing, this is not the things that help you do. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right,
It's just all it is. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just what you trying to accomplish. There's nothing wrong with, I guess, sitting home and having a family just like that, and all of a sudden you're a daddy, and you can be, you know, having your natural sex, your regular sex on a regular basis, which you couldn't have before, and you know, you can go to your job and come back and watch your Netflix and have the regular family. But you know, in those situations, you know, who's to say who's really happy and what's life about?
Right.
They're thinking they're living their best life themselves, and you know, Netflix is the fucking god for them. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
let them be, let them live their
Yeah,
life. But it's not for me in the real world. For me, what I'm
Right.
trying to accomplish, I know having the responsibility of somebody else's child and having to worry about that schedule and this schedule and my love and the priorities. I would expect the mom to have the priority of the child, you know what I mean? But automatically that puts me number two, at least,
Right.
which nobody would want to be in that position. But
Right,
it's completely understandable, but that's karma,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know?
I agree.
Simple shit like that where like it's common where you know you're not gonna be happy in that position.
Right. Well, we should all be born in the the rabbi in the Jewish religion, the Kabbalah. They teach people, you know, when they're young, your age, you marry this person, you know. Basically, it's almost arranged. You're gonna marry this person, and then once you're there, you're never gonna look at anyone anymore in your life. And I was thinking about it the other day. The rabbis say that once, and I'm like, huh, interesting, because then you don't need to, like, in their belief, right? I'm not saying that's the way it's supposed to be, but you avoid so much like trouble, because you're not trying this and that and this and that, and trying so many women or trying so many men, or you just go like, this is your wife, this is going to be your husband, and this is what's going to be for the rest of your life. And people get committed to that because, you know, they're really
But
into it.
look at your bigger picture though. Your bigger picture isn't that much greater than that. I was thinking about this the other day. Usually people date around their own circle, their friends. They end up meeting somebody with somebody's cousin or somebody. You know, that's like the typical, real, natural way of meeting. It's like a family member, and that circle isn't that much greater compared to the billion people, the 8 billion people that we have in this world. So you're literally picking from, you know, a grain of salt compared to what's out there. So what do you really know what your existence is for? And most people usually end up with their own kind.
Yeah.
And that's why it's crazy for me coming from my culture, from my country, born and raised in Armenia, coming to America and seeing these different races, and then
Yeah.
coming to Miami, you know, and LA was just like, you know, white, black, Mexican, you know, Armenian, Chinese. In Miami, it's like, what kind of Latin do you want? There's 50 different kinds of Latin
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it's like, you know, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Who's to say which one is yours? And then, you know, you also realize there's so much more out there. How can you say this is the guy or this is the girl? You don't even know. I mean, these are people that come into your life that give you purpose or give you happiness for the time being because that's what you're needing. But if you're really looking, there's so much to look
Yeah.
and see and experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And where do you stop? And I think in a way, these religions that are created, they're the ones who have the long-term marriages and families where, if you do look, you're gonna keep on looking, and there's nothing to really find. At the end of the day, it's the same shit over and over. So if you really want this, here it is, have it, and be done with it,
Yeah.
and make it work. Because I know in the reality, you're gonna keep on looking. And that's like the bigger daddy telling you, like, shut the fuck up, I'm gonna tell you what it is. But once you open the door, it's over. Once you get a taste, once you see there's variety and changes, you can get out of Kentucky and go to Miami, and next thing you know, you go to fucking LA, and next thing you know, why not Dubai? Fuck, all of a sudden the whole world is in your reach. Why would you stop?
Yeah.
Well, some people want to date, get someone and find someone, especially men who are career driven. They want a woman, and once they get a woman, they don't want to keep investing energy into finding other women because they're so focused on their career. They want one woman who's going to support them and be on their side, and that they love and care for. Like, because I read a lot of entrepreneur books, Rob Dial and this other guy that I really love. I just finished his book. I think it's Brian Tracy. He said they pick their wives, and then like they know that's who they want. And then, like, yes, we live in a world full of options. You can DoorDash 50 different things right now if you choose to. But if you choose to choose someone, so you don't have to invest time, money, energy, sleepless nights.
51 first dates. It's really, it's almost like that.
Yes.
It makes sense in the business sense where like it is true because you don't have to start over every time. But I like the reset because I'll tell you something too though. This is very interesting. You know, when you meet somebody, you present your greatest self
Yeah, of
initially.
course.
You try
Yes.
to at least.
Yeah.
No, this is nothing to do with you, but it's funny that it's happening. And you know, the first experience you have with them, dinner and sex, usually, you know, it's like all in one type of thing, and then it's like an amazing experience. And you would always want that same. It's never gonna be the same. That first bang, the first, you know, the movie that you create initially.
Yeah.
It never, and it becomes less and less through time with different things happening, businesses and other priorities. The big bang gets old and it doesn't exist anymore. So it's not really about having the convenience, because convenience doesn't get you anywhere in life. It's more about the big bang of like excitement of like where life is lived, you know, worth living for. Because at the end of the day, you're not just working to go to work. You want to enjoy your life, and your wife, the person you're with, should be the one you're proud to be with and to be happy with and to enjoy with. You know what I mean? Yeah, I was married for 10 years and he was great, you know what I mean? But I did have other females in the process. And I feel like it was essential in a way because the big bang goes away, especially when you have kids, and especially when you go through the shit you go through as a female. It takes away from the guy that you're with because he doesn't get everything that he used to. And it becomes a second and a third option and a priority in the process because of the kids, which is understandable. But as a man, to continue, you can't take that away and continue to be the same man, which is understandable for the woman, but for the man, the man
So
has
you
to
think-
continue.
So you think it's the man, I mean, scientifically proven that man is like this, or there might be rules to the exception? Because honestly, I was in a relation for 10 years. I mean, we was super handsome. Like, I saw girls going crazy when they saw him, right? And we never had an issue for a woman in 10 years. I never went to his phone. I don't know.
I think that's the key.
You know what
You
I'm
need to
saying?
just
I
respect
don't
the
know.
privacy.
I mean, if one time he came back home after 5 and I was just already back home, I might thought one time, oh my God, he slept with someone else tonight. But in reality, it was that he got into a fight and he was in jail. So had nothing to do with woman error. I think we were loyal to each other, at least me, on my side, I was. But I don't know, when I hear men talking like this, was he able to deal with me for 10 years? I mean, without fucking another woman? I'm just here.
Some men are because there has to be women who want that, and there's some men that are capable of doing so. Not everyone's chasing the big bang all the time. Some men are satisfied with their Some
I'm gonna
people,
tell you this.
but
Men
some
are-
people are not, and that's
Listen,
okay. Some people have
Men
open
are as
relationships.
loyal as their opportunities and options that they have.
No,
Wait, repeat that.
that's not true.
Men are as loyal as their opportunities. If they have opportunities, they're gonna take this opportunity.
If they're not disciplined in their relationship.
And no man who's a beast, who's supposed to be the man, is gonna be disciplined or gonna be on a program because some chick said so. That's a natural way of being. That's an
It's
animal.
not because a chick say so. It's because he chooses to do so. Everyone, there is a choice in everything you do. That's why there's no one way to do life because everybody.
Well, that's the
is
thing. Once you start making decisions of what you should be, then you're not what you're supposed to be. Because what the fuck are
Well,
you to choose what
You
you're
get
supposed
to a point where that's why you're not supposed to be out dating everybody until you get to a point where you're secure in yourself. Once you're
It's
secure
not
in
about
yourself,
dating. It's about
like-
having the freedom of being an animal. That's the thing. The lion, if you look at the animal channel, you should watch the animal channel.
I watch the Animal Channel.
Lions-
Honestly, I don't know
lions
what to
go
do.
in
Men
different
are
prides.
like animals, seriously. You
Lions
see
go
how
in
they
different
eat.
prides, and women sit there and wait for the same lions to go in a circle in their own.
That's because there's certain people like that in the world. There's certain people that want open relationships.
It's not about
you
open
know? Or
relationships.
there's certain men that like, women. that are
Animals don't
okay
have
with their-
relationships like that,
I-
where they have to be a certain way. Animals act like animals because they're animals. You know, there's no rules
Everything
set in
is a
place.
Everything is a choice. When at the end of the
I
day.
choose a man that is with me and only with me. And if he wants to go and fuck someone else, he can go, but
Yeah.
he's not gonna be with me because for why? Why I'm gonna share the I don't understand that part. I mean, I'm thinking now in 10 years, like what I was thinking that he was faithful. I mean, I hope so because now
It
it's like
doesn't matter.
no, it does because it clicked now that you said I was for 10 years with someone and it, like you were in a relation and you were looking for other women. I was thinking my
I wasn't
relation-
looking for them. They come find you. Women find men who are in relationships because a lot of these women, they want to have everything.
That's
but
why I
the
never, it's true
responsibility-
because that's why I
Real love
never
is-
wanted to marry
Real
him.
love is
That's
so
why I never, he
powerful
proposed
that
me
people
and I didn't
wanna
want
come in
it.
and disrupt
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
Real love is so powerful that it can create anything. So when you are in a powerful couple, people want to come in and disrupt it.
They wanna take
because-
what you
So
have.
that's why you need a strong
I
man
never
and you
wanted
need a
to
strong
work, I
woman
mean-
who is mentally strong and physically, like mentally disciplined to not go outside. Because once you start letting other people in your relationship, friends, family, anything, like in the intimacy of your relationship, it is corrupt from the start. That's why you need two really strong people. If one person's strong, one person's weak, then there's gonna be, definitely the man's gonna be looking for something else. The woman should be pleasing the man as much as he wants to. Like, the Bible says you're supposed to submit to your husband, and your husband is also supposed to submit to you, but not in the same way. But like, you're supposed to be submitting to each other. But if the woman like wants to make excuses because the kids and blah, blah blah and stuff like that, those are excuses. You're supposed to be wanting
Yeah,
to.
but I don't think it's just about sex. It's not about
It's
sex.
not.
Men being around other women is not just about to fuck because it's
What is it? You're saying it's about being an animal and like going out, and the women come to
yeah, you can't be domesticated as an alpha male. You can't be domesticated where you are set to be a certain way because it's supposed to be that way. It's not.
You can choose what you want to.
Exactly,
Well,
but
but
once you start
also,
acting upon your choosing, you become that person. You become
Yeah.
something else.
Isn't it like a cultural thing too? Men from your country are very like.
Same as your country.
That's, that's why I don't date.
No, but that's the
people.
thing. That's the thing too. It's not about culture. It's the old school mentality of men are men, and the more masculine men, the more females, and which is natural. You know what I mean? It's and if every female didn't want the men that you're with, then you shouldn't be with that man to begin with. And that's the same thing. And I had an old boss who told me, he said, I got upset one day when I was, I don't know, 21, 22 years old. I was out with a chick and I got into a fight because some guy looked at it some type of way. And the guy said to me, my manager said to me, it was the guy I respected, he said, if you're out with a chick and if everybody isn't looking at her, then what the fuck are you doing with that chick? And it's not about looking at her like I want to fuck her. They should be looking at her as, wow, she's beautiful. Look at the power that she represents. The elegance of not being accessible. That's not. They're not gonna look at her and say, oh, I fucked her too. That's not the vibe. Or look at her ass. That's not the vibe. You know what I'm saying? It's more about you being and giving the power to that person And that's the only power a female can give. And once it becomes accessible to other men, where everybody asks and says, "Oh yeah, me too," then
But the
forget
man needs
about
to
it.
know how to nurture that and also nurture that femininity. A man can't go around and be like, oh, you're not supposed to have feelings, blah, 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 but still want a woman to be in her femininity. That's not how it works. A woman is a sensing creature. That's how they're able to sense and build a home.
Okay, men don't sit around crying all
They
day
don't
or
need it.
fucking
They're not
sit
supposed
there
to,
and
but you
fucking give
have to be able
tissues.
to respect that the woman has different needs than the man.
Yeah, and it could be on their own time.
Yeah, it can't be on her own time, but at the same time,
And
the
it
man
shouldn't
can't say
influence.
fuck your feelings, you know, basically to a woman.
It's not about
And-
fuck your feelings. It's just that those
Or to
feelings
get
can
over it.
influence a man's emotions and get you can't have a man emotionally be invested as a female into any situation because that takes away from
It's
the
not being invested, it's having empathy. Empathy has boundaries as well. You only have to allow, you can understand where someone's coming from and sit there and like nurture them and like be there for them without, just like if you had so if I had a daughter, I can nurture her and understand like.
you can't compare a daughter
But-
to a relationship.
Yes,
That's
you
not
can. Oh my God, God! Think about the relationship we have with God. We're like God's children, technically.
Okay.
So if we think like that, think about our relationship with God. Think about how He loves us and how He shows up for us and how He forgives us and how He doesn't necessarily judge us for having certain feelings or having certain temptations or having certain things. It is a father-child relationship, and that's why younger people are the best teacher. Like younger people are the best teachers, but so are older people, is because they're most connected back to that childlike almost energy. And when people have kids, they come in their life as teachers to teach the parents something. Relationships are the same thing. Relationships all have the same foundation of teaching. The person who is most connected to all versions of themselves, that's like when they say be shapeless, be formless, be able to go back to any age. That's why some people are able to age backwards, because they're literally able to shift back and forth.
You're not
in
aging
a
backwards.
mindset.
That's what naturally kind of happens. It's supposed to, in a way.
Not aging backwards, but
I know
able
what
to
you
connect
mean.
to the
It's a
mentality.
It's the Benjamin Button story.
Yeah,
But it's
I
more
have
of not a physical thing. It's more of a mental thing.
It is.
Yeah.
But
But listen, there's one thing you can't compare a relationship with a daughter to a relationship with a woman. Because women come and go, daughters can't come and go. Daughters are your daughters
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Women can fuck you over and go be with another man the next day. Your daughter can't pick another father the next
I
day.
think if you're
So it's not the
telling
same
me-
relationship.
there's things that are comparable. I'm not saying they're the
You
same
can't love
relationship.
your daughter the same as a fucking bitch.
No,
it's not
that's
the
not.
same.
Your wife isn't a fucking bitch if you have a daughter with her. First
Listen,
of
she
all.
eventually
And
becomes
then-
one.
and then if-
It's only better in time.
Well, then you're a reflection of your wife. So if you're choosing a wife that's a fucking bitch, then
That's
you're
why
a
she's
bitch
not
too.
around. That's why you
No,
replace and
well,
remove.
well, go ahead.
They-
I was
that's what
told
I'm
when I was
saying.
young, when your wife gets to 40, you replace her with two 20-year-olds. That's like the exchange rate.
Wow, that needs you need
That's
a
the
deeper dive
mindset.
on
No,
that.
listen,
You need a personal session.
I would hurt some feelings. It's okay.
I will hurt some too. It's okay. Not yours, but you have a strong opinion. I have a strong opinion too. You know.
It's great to have a strong opinion, but it's different when you get older and
Don't
have this.
lioness. Don't back down. It's not different when you get older. I know 100-year-old. I know a guy that I met. This is how I know so much too. I used to work in a nursing home, and
Stop.
I also used to work with kids. But anyways, I've always studied people growing up. I've always just been interested. But I know a guy who's 106, and he is sharper than a motherfucker. But it is because he told me, because he stayed connected to all the different versions of him. He's, when you heal every age, every version of you, you can connect to any age and still have the same life force energy. Energy doesn't just die. Energy just doesn't get old. Energy is within you. That's what the Kundalini energy is. Duh. I'm sorry, not duh. But that's what I'm saying. It's just so simple, and we just make it so
she has a point
complicated.
because we disconnect. When I say we disconnect from the energy, when we were young, but younger, me at least, we were not afraid to love.
Mm-hmm.
We were loving open heart. When did that shit happen? in some point of my life where I disconnected from the energy. So she has a point.
And think
I
about
mean,
what
I
Jack
completely,
said.
and when I connected and really opened my heart again, what did I told you when we met? Like, you might not need the Kundalini energy because you're super, your sexual energy, you are a projector, generator, you're like super high como Kundalini, because you create with your sexual energy. I'm not talking about girls or sex or anything, you create with your sexual energy, everything around you, right? Your location, this, that, your business, like your lifestyle, todo is your. But then when I said, but I think we need to do a little bit of work on your heart, because sometimes I can see in other people where I am, and I just recently went through it, right? It's like when I saw you the first time, and it was like some light coming out of the car, right? Like, who is she? You know, like with a glass in hand, a little coronita, like a little fairy
Oh my
thing.
God.
Like, who is she? Where'd she come from? Because somehow I see myself in you. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to see this
You
light.
wouldn't be able
You
to see
understand what I'm
any
saying?
beauty in
So
me
when
if you didn't
when
see
she has
yourself.
a point, because en verdad, when we disconnect from the energies, when we start putting those veils and we start putting those walls in front of us, because in reality, what it is, we can fuck as much as we can, and we can all do that. Anyone here can do that. We all have options. I have options even I'm fucking 50 almost. I have to open my phone.
Wow, you look amazing.
I don't even open them, right? You have options because you're in your 20s. What? You have all the options because he has all the options because he's actually those his age are always calling me. I don't know why nowadays. Like all the like what? Like you're
He's
not
in
gonna-
your DMs
I can
too,
be
though,
your
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Like what are you talking about? But what I'm saying is, what's the energy that really moves at the end? I want to be loved. I don't care what. I want to be loved, and I want to love with my open heart. That's the whole thing. So, I mean, it's a
I
choice.
think that's the key. I mean, it's love. You got to love. I think there's nothing wrong with love. You got to keep on loving, but without any limitations or without any kind of restrictions, without any kind of boundaries, without any kind of expectations.
No,
That's the
that
key.
would just. I think
That's when it
so.
gets complicated. Love is
Yeah.
love.
Love is love.
If you're gonna
It
say
will
you
come
love
with that.
somebody,
Like
it has to be
I never
okay.
impose anything in 10 years. You have to do this. You have to do that. He never told me you cannot go to. You want to go to Burning Man? I cannot have to work. You want to go? Go. I'm like, how am I gonna go without you? Why not? You can go with your friends. What? Like Colombian man would never tell me this. And he was French. He's like, just go. Like the trust. What that trust? Like
I
is
was
that
booking
is that
somebody else. That's why I
love?
wanted to
That's
go.
what builds a
No,
relationship.
no,
And think
no.
about trust. When someone trusts you like that, it builds your confidence.
There's no fucking way I'm letting my girl go to
But
fucking Burning Man without me. Are you fucking
Why?
kidding me?
Go, but-
I'm just saying, there's no fucking way I'm doing it.
But it's like,
Are you
it's
kidding
the,
me?
it's the freedom
There's no fucking trust.
of having a choice and
There's
not.
not no fucking
But you're
trust.
telling them that don't put boundaries, don't put rules, don't no sé qué.
Yeah.
No, but I know what Burning Man is. Why would I let my woman go and be? Why would my woman want to go?
But you're giving her the freedom to go if she wants to. Now she stays is another story. But you're putting right.
But guess what happens at
rules.
Burning Man? I already know what happens at
Let
Burning Man.
them- and that's when you let them choose, and when you let someone, when you
Yeah,
give
they can
someone-
choose to
when-
go.
Okay, but if you give that person the freedom to choose, then you can be like, what does this say about this person? When we have expectations and
There's a
boundaries,
trust.
you don't give people the freedom to make the choice.
There's no trust. If you went, you would have been done.
But
What?
If you went, you would have been done. There is no trust.
okay, but
Then you
then-
shouldn't be
but
going.
then that could
Period.
have helped get through the relationship.
I went to
quicker.
Burning Man. Nothing
It's not
crazy
even
happened.
about that. It's about the fact that you shouldn't want to be
That's-
doing all of that without your man. You should be wanting to experience that with the person you're with.
Of
You're
course.
missing it.
Because you're gonna
It's-
go experience things and you're gonna be
But
wanting
that
things.
comes. That's what I'm saying. Once like real love, that comes.
Yeah.
The real love comes from you wanting to share and create things with that person,
Exactly.
not telling that person go do whatever the fuck you want. That's not love.
Okay,
That's
what you
not-
just
that's
said.
Not, that's not what you. Oh my god, you just so missed that.
Yeah, she did. You didn't just say he told you to go whatever the fuck. It's okay. Go do it. It's you're like it's okay.
No, but I'm talking about.
You're telling me it's not okay. He's like
I'm
it's okay.
talking-
Go do whatever
no,
the fuck
no,
you
no,
want.
I'm talking about the not the freedom, the trust that you have in the person. Like you don't put rules. You don't say.
I don't
what-
see it as trust. I
what
see
is
that as there's something
like-
wrong with the relationship.
It's just like
What's
raising a
wrong
kid
and
if
what's
you-
bad. That's the thing. In
But
life,
that's the
there's-
thing, that if you're with somebody and you want to go have these experiences, you should want to have the experiences with the person you're with.
Yeah, exactly.
This
But they
person.
can't be there
Right.
to experience
So fuck it, then
everything
you don't
with
go
you.
because they're supposed to
It's
be
like-
together. You know, then she's gonna go experience it with somebody else that's gonna give her a different perspective of life, which is gonna be different than with his
That's
is.
not the
And all of a
point.
sudden she's gone with another
The
guy.
point
Very
is,
smart.
the point is the
Listen,
choice
here's the
that
point.
she
Listen, this is the
made.
point.
The point is the
Stop.
choice
This is
that
my
she made.
podcast. This is a saying, okay? Women are like Bluetooth. Women are like Bluetooth. If they get too far from the device, and they get disconnected, wherever they get close to, that's what they connect to.
I thought
Simple
that was
as
men.
that's women.
Why woman? That sounds more like men to me.
No, men. It doesn't have to be Bluetooth. It doesn't mean anything. We connect with anybody that comes and gives us love and respect. That's all it is. That's what we enjoy is the love and respect. Other than that, you know what I mean? Women are the ones who need to be connected with somebody emotionally, where they have to be like there. If somebody's not there, then somebody else is gonna be there. There's gonna be a replacement because it's a void. It's more like a daddy issue thing.
So you basically believe in also in woman being loyal to a man, but then men are just like with like. by
Listen, I feel
nature-
like in the
by
internatural world, if you really love somebody, there's pure love. You do respect and give that woman
But in the nature
so
of a
much
man-
more, and you may not cheat. You may be faithful, and I don't see that as cheating or faithful. It's more about a way of life. This is
Right,
what it is.
right,
You know what
right,
I'm saying? And it's not about what's right for the girl and what's wrong with the girl. This is what life was created to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? This is how it's meant for me, to be the way I'm supposed to be. And for women to have any kind of value and power, it's supposed to be this way. You know what I'm saying? It's just common.
But I'm just curious, like, so men for you, in their nature, they're
Not all men.
Not all men. Okay. And what about women? Because I heard a lot of guys saying it's the same shit. Girls and guys are the same. Like,
Girls love to have sex. They are fucking more masculine. I feel like a lot more girls now are more sexually active and crazy and more picky with guys, where they would go after and get the sex, especially for money. So this may be whatever's around, but this is what the life we're living. You know what I mean? So it's not about what's right and wrong. It's just like for man to have any purpose to have a woman in their life, the woman can be everybody's woman. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying?
I
And if a man is going around and fucking around a woman, and you have a home, that man isn't bringing all these hoes around, and they're not coming and becoming the wife. Or they're just whores. You know what I'm saying? As they're meant to be. You know what I mean? And these people, all these whores, know that most of the time there's a relationship, there's a marriage, there's this and that, and they love to be in these positions. There's certain women for certain positions, for certain things, and they are made to make life move forward in different ways. You know what I mean? There's my kind of people that have to live a certain way, and there's people who you like the younger boys who like a certain life, and then there's the men who like the 9 to 5, who need to have these jobs to fulfill the purpose in society, you know, to get the world moving forward, which needs to have the basic standard relationships where, you know, you have 2 hours to watch TV together, you wake up, you might have breakfast together, you go to this and I'm do this, you know what I mean? We need these people, and it's not all men.
We need all kind of people in the world, the planet, I think. But I thought a man that isn't masculine 100% and embracing that masculine was a man that could be loyal. So I'm not.
Well, then
in
why
the-
are these girls in Dubai posting pictures with these men? Because the guys they're with, they're not loyal. They're the whores they're with. They're not their women. Because if I was with my woman, I would be posting pictures with my woman. If I was, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would be proud of the situation. I would want to be posting pictures with my man or with my woman, and I would be offended if I was giving somebody that kind of a life and they would dismiss me out of it. And they would put themselves out there in that matter where like everybody should see and like and comment and, you know, obviously other men because they do look beautiful and they're putting themselves out there as a prize. They're not putting themselves out there as, hey, I'm a taken woman where don't look at me. You know what I mean? They're putting themselves as the price. I'm the queen. I'm living life. I'm the it. How?
So the only men that have whores are men that have women who post on social media.
You missed what I said.
I'm
Stop.
trying to understand. I don't know.
This is not a personal conversation. This is a podcast. Yes. 2 hours? It's been 2 hours? Okay, we should stop. This is the longest podcast we've ever had. And honestly, like, as much as we talked about a lot of things we've talked about before, like, but it was in a different sense. And I feel like there's so much more knowledge and experience in these conversations. And you do have a lot of points, and there's a nice perspective to have as a younger person. But you also need to understand in the bigger picture, there's a quote that said, there's a quote I said, there's a quote, this is Bruce Lee quote. Bruce Lee is one of my legends. He said, doer only learns. So as much as you've learned, as you keep on doing, you will be learning so much more. And with only time, you can be able to do these things with only time. So with time and age, a lot of experiences do come and a lot of knowledge does come with it if you choose to take it as an experience, as a lesson, instead of as I had a fucked up life. It wasn't that fucked up because everything did happen for a reason. I've gone through so many things in life and I've had so many questions where I did go and ask, specialists, I used to be with this chick and I was so much worse and I became so much better in my own eye where I've improved in so many ways, and she would love me more back then than she does now. She doesn't appreciate the person that I've become, and that happens a lot. But in the process, the answer to that question was, back then you loved each other the way you did is because that's what you deserved at the time, and that's what you accepted for what it is because that's who you were at the time. So a lot of things that we do accept is because of that's what we deserve within ourselves, of our own worth that we put upon ourselves. And it's not about what we put upon ourselves, it's what we create for us and accept for us, the high or the low, or the things that we do or don't do, and we accept it. And a lot of this acceptance comes from people around us allowing it to be the norm and acceptable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we might do and say things that we might hurt each other's feelings, but that's growth. And most of the time, the people that help you grow, the people are the ones you end up hating and end up distancing from, the people that you need in your life. But because of this misunderstandings, or I guess raw conversations,
Triggering
yeah,
something, yeah.
there's a lot of triggering that happens where it pushes a lot of people away, where there's no intentions of that. It's supposed to be the lesson in the process, because in reality there's no point for us to be hurting each other's feelings or to be appreciating each other, especially if you're coming into my life, into my space. The better you are, the more you're going to be able to give me and do for me, and the more I'm going to appreciate that, you know what I mean? So there's no point for it to be any less than what the most it could be. So we make the most of it. But in the process, if I do care, and if I see something, and if I say something, it shouldn't be offensive, because there's no reason for me to offend you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you don't agree with me, we could talk about it. But if I know because I've done, if I've seen, and if you're in denial, then, it's okay. But I'm going to tell you what it is anyway. You know what I mean? It may hurt your feelings, but I'm not trying to make friends. I just want to be real. I don't want to change because I want you to be in my life. You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to be and tell you what I tell you. And if you choose to be, then you be. And if not, it's okay. I'll let you be.
I'll be in your life. You have
Oh,
me
this
around.
is the longest podcast we've ever had. But it's natural, it's organic, and it was not plotted, just like always. There was no cuts, there's no editing, there's none of that. It's all raw. That's why we don't appreciate outside, because you don't even know how it's going to look like in the video. If you're going to even hear you in the video.
Well, maybe you should ask me again.
My plan was to you have your own. You could have your own. You don't have. We don't have three microphones. Thank you. I know a little bit of what I'm doing. Hey, it's all about love. It's all about positivity. There's no point for anything negative, and nobody should be looking at anybody in any negative light. Or if you see somebody in a negative way, they shouldn't be in your life. You know what I'm saying? So, if we're gonna try to interact, it should be in a positive light, and then we should try to add into each other's life. And if I can add to yours, and you could become better, and you can add to mine, it's more to me. You know what I mean? So that's the idea that I have towards life, and that's how I like to.
I'm gonna keep letting you think I'm your sexual healer.
Well, as long as you know
I'll
there's
open
sexual
the heart.
healing,
Let's open the heart.
as long as listen, everybody knows I have a sexual problem. No, it's not true. I just want to have all the flavors. I'm a foodie. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for opening up and being real. I think the raw connection is the key. It's all about being raw. And karma comes, we were talking about it. Karma comes when we actually start putting our own thoughts into the realness that exists. And most thoughts usually come from past experiences, negative experiences, trauma, and people that are no longer there.
Yeah.
So to bring it into the present, it's kind of irrelevant. So trying to stay in the present and enjoying the rawness of what life gives you and making the most of it is, everything else is not raw, like the money and all these other things, but they come naturally if it could just be raw.
Raw.
Raw. All right, thank you. Good night. Raw cones, stay raw, organic as possible.
That was